Hi, this is Sarah from Sassy Reads, and today I will be talking about some of the books that I read in 2016. The first book I have to talk about is Darken by Kristen White. This book is so amazing. I was sent this book for review through NetGalley, and I went out and bought my own copy, which is something I never do because usually my NetGalley reads, I'm like, I don't want to own that on myself. This one, I was like, yes, I need it. And it's so beautiful. I love it so much. I love it so much. It follows Lada and Radu and Muhammad. I keep wanting to call him Hamid. I don't know what his name is. I can't pronounce names. I'm so sorry. But anyway, Lada is kind of like a parallel universe to What If Vlad the Impaler was a woman. It's pretty fascinating because like Lada is very ugly and she's very brute and aggressive, and she has like physical strength and she can fight and kick ass. She's rude and she doesn't hold her tongue. She's everything a woman shouldn't be in this time. But it's really interesting because she has to deal with like the concubines of the Ottoman Empire, and she sees like that women use sexuality as a weapon, and she doesn't know how to do that because she's like, I can just like beat people up. So it's really fascinating, and I'm kind of hoping that in the next novels maybe she'll like become like a sexual goddess and just kill everybody with like her sexuality and with her hands, because that'd be cool. But that's not gonna happen because I don't think Vlad the Impaler did that. Anyway, then there's Radu, her brother, which is, he's so sweet. He's like a little flower. He's so beautiful and he's just so nice, but he's really sneaky. Like, he can get into places and he can hear and he can gossip. He's that person that, you know, you make friends with him and you're like, oh, he would never talk shit on me. He's telling his sister all your secrets. Like, he is telling them to her and they're ready to take you down. And it's really fascinating because Lada and Radu are Wallachian and they're taken away from their home as like kind of like a punishment to their father, and they end up staying in the Ottoman Empire, and Muhammad is the prince who eventually comes to power. This isn't a spoiler, it's history, people, catch up. And anyway, it's really fascinating to see how all this goes on and how it correlates with history. I find it really fascinating. I should probably read up more on history of Vlad the Impaler, that way I know what's going to happen with this series. But I don't want to spoil myself because, like, I'm enjoying this. Like, I'm all for it. Also, that love triangle. The feels. And then the next book I read was, my baby, it's A Court of Mist and Fury. You know, if I hadn't read Daughter of the Forest this year, this would have been my favorite fantasy. But you can't beat Sorcha. Like, I'm gonna name my daughter Sorcha. That's how much I love that book. But this book, shit, is good. It is so good. I was spoiled for the love. I'm just gonna say the love. I don't want to go on. For the love that happens in this novel. And I was like, no, that's not what I want. That's not what I need. And then I read it, and I was like, bitch, yes. Bitch, yes. I'm all about it. I'm all here for it. I'm ready for them to take it down. I'm ready. I really love political strategies and psychological strategies, and I'm ready for them to kill this empire. I won't tell you what empire. I won't tell you what kingdom it is. I won't tell you what's going to happen, but I'm ready for it. And I'm excited. I hope this next book's like 1,000 pages because I'm on board. How much is this? This book is big. It's like 600 something pages. It is thick. It's like the whole size of my head and half of my shoulder. It's huge. I love it. Read it. That's all I'm gonna say. Next book I read is Limbo by Dan Waters. This is a 1-volume collection that follows the 6 breakdown comics, and it's only 1 comic, so like you can literally only read 1 volume, which is awesome because you don't have to keep buying stuff. And I gave this 3.5 stars. Originally I was like, huh? And then I was like, what? And then I was like, And then the ending came, and I was like, damn. That's good writing and good storytelling. And it really is. And I don't want to spoil it because my jaw dropped and my mind was blown. And I was like, oh my gosh. So if you're interested, I definitely recommend it. It's called Limbo. It's about this man and a VCR and like kind of like what's his name? Papa Egba from Coven. He kind of makes an appearance in here if I remember correctly. They have some Dia de los Muertos stuff. It's very fascinating. It's very interesting. Check it out. And now that it's called Limbo, I understand why. Next book is Prince of Wolves by Quinn Loftus. I DNF'd this. I know, Sarah, why are you talking about a book that you didn't finish? Because I want you to know why I didn't finish it. See, I read the first 4 or 5 chapters because I was like, okay, I'm going to clean out my Kindle. Maybe, like, I'll enjoy this one. It's weird. The writing is horrible. Like, these kids are really, really, like, I know my generation is near illiterate, but, oh my god. The way these kids talk, I'm like, no. And I have younger friends, so I still know that they don't sound like that. They don't sound nearly as bad as these kids do. And not only that, but she has this guy reading her mind, and she tells her friends about it, and they're just like, oh, that's so cool. Like, no. She's hearing voices in her head. That is not cool. Like, this is questionable. Like, we need to sit down and discuss this. Not assume that it's hot and sexy and that she's not crazy. Okay? So I was just like, no, I can't. And then the writing was bad, so I was like, no, I can't. But then I read my mom's favorite book. Of course, I bought my own copy. She doesn't own a copy. But it's Valley of the Dolls by Jacqueline Susan. Yes. If you don't know what the Valley of the Dolls is, it follows 3 women. There is Anne, Jennifer, and Neely. And Anne, she originally goes to New York just because she wants a secretary job. She don't want to marry the men on the island. She's like, I want to be my own woman. So she does. She gets to be her own woman. And all these men follow her around. And then she finds out, like, the man that was following her around was super rich. And she's still, like, not feeling it. She's like, look, I ain't doing it. And then she ends up falling in love with this prick named Leon. We'll get to Leon later. And then there's Neely, and Neely lives downstairs from Anne, and they become really good friends. And then Neely gets her big break on Broadway, and Neely becomes frickin' crazy. You know how Judy Garland was addicted to barbiturates? That's Neely. But she's also like a mix of all other kind of crazy narcissistic people. So, I don't like Neely at all. Then there's Jennifer. Jennifer's really weird. She was like a lesbian at one point in Spain or Italy, but then she ran away because her lover was crazy and tried to like keep her there forever. And she married a prince and got money, and she's lying about her age, and she's really famous for porn. Interesting, right? And then it gets really sad and really depressing, and I think it's more tragic than Shakespeare because I felt like I was swimming in a dark pool of abyss. I was depressed. I was hurt. I cried a lot. Leon is an asshole. Like, damn. I didn't like him to begin with, but by the end of this novel, I wanted to, like, kill him for what was going on. And poor Anne. Poor Neely. Poor Jennifer. Poor people. It was sad. It was sad. Read it. 5 stars. Go read it. Don't read it when you're, like, having a bad time in life, though, because it will not help. Like, it could make you want to hurt yourself, because it has no hope at all. No hope at all. The next book I read was The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn. Is this a book? No. Is this a novella? I wouldn't even call it that. It's like 63 pages. This is barely even a short story. Very salty. I paid $4 for this. But it's Gillian Flynn. I want more. I need more. It's really fascinating because this woman, she does hand jobs and hand readings. Ha! Isn't that funny? So she's like a psychic, but she's not a psychic. She's a con artist, but she's a likable con artist. So, of course, that's like what Gillian Flynn does. She makes horrible people likable. Except for that girl from Sharp Objects. I couldn't stand her. But even Amy, the cool girl, I hated her, but I loved her. Because she was so interesting to read about. But I hated her. But this girl I genuinely liked. And this was a good story. I don't want to spoil it. Because, like, just hand jobs and con artists. And psychics and ghosts. And possible demonic possessions. That's all you need to know. There's a house, too. Yes. So, pick it up. Because it's Gillian Flynn. But Gillian Flynn, where's your next novel? Because, I don't have anything else to read by you. And I want something. Like, please. Please. So, those are some of the books that I've read in 2016, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!